Howdy, friends and family. Jake from GD Honey Acres here. I've been out here working in the shop a good portion of the afternoon and got to thinking about things and something my wife and I talked about where high schools are kind of going wrong nowadays. I think one thing that high schools need to do better at, instead of just pushing science and math, which are important subjects, and same with English, is they need to push more on the skills side of life. By skills, I mean being able to work on your own vehicle, being able to cook your own food, basic skills, there's a lot of kids nowadays that don't even know how to fold their own laundry. Now, I know a lot of people will say something like that's on their parents, but that's something that kind of used to be taught back in the day. I think kids nowadays, they don't even know how to grow a garden, don't know how to balance a checkbook, don't know how to keep track of things, and even have a basic budget. It's all stuff that should be a necessity. Yes, it's important to know how to read, write, do arithmetic, and different sciences, but kids need to have a basic set of skills and an essential set of skills. Like most kids, they can't even make themselves scrambled eggs in the morning. That's just really sad to me. In my opinion, there needs to be mandatory classes in high school, or as people in Europe or whatnot would say, secondary school. Those mandatory classes need to be a school year length, not just one semester, not just 6 weeks like some places do. You need to have, I'd say, a home economy course where it covers basic home repair. It covers, cooking breakfast, lunch, supper. It'll cover your checkbook, because balancing your checkbook and managing your money is a really essential skill, and that's home economy. Your home life is not just your house. It's everything about where you live. It's about your life. I would say that not only a home economy class should be mandatory, like I was saying, teach basic home repair, basic money management skills. It'll teach cleaning duties, because some kids aren't getting that anymore either, because they wake up in the morning, go to class, go to sports or other after school programs, and come home, and parents have already taken care of everything. And the parents, we're all so busy working, trying to do everything, that we don't really have the energy or time to deal with it ourselves. Parents need to do a better job at that as well, need to be better at time management, which that should be in that course as well. The other course I think should be mandatory for a year long, maybe even 2 years, where 1 year you do one thing, 1 year you do the next. That should be, I'd say, let's go just shop 1 and 2. So shop 1, that's going to be overall your basic woodworking, using your table saws, miter saws, all your hand tools such as chisels and planes. You're just basic woodworking, because with that basic woodworking, you could take all that knowledge, go into your home economics class. You know what I mean? It's just stuff that I think people need to know, men, women alike. It doesn't matter what your gender is, what your age is. It's stuff you should have to know. And I'd say, shop 1's all about different woodworking, building things with lumber, all that stuff, and using your hand tools, because that's very important. Not often you're going to be able to afford buying power tools. So you're going to need to know how to use a backbone saw. You're going to need to know how to use your Japanese pole saw. There's all sorts of things you can learn with just basic woodworking. And you'll be able to carry that into fixing your house, fixing your shop, building tables, building cabinets. Things are going to make your life easier. Then I'd say shop 2 should be about, automotive, doing all your basic stuff for automotive, where you're rotating your tires, changing tires, doing your oil, changing your oil filters, changing your fuel filters, cleaning your air cleaner, going through your spark plugs, you know, checking all your basic systems out, making sure that the vehicle is good to go, greasing it. A lot of people, I mean, heck, you could even do like your basic changing of your brake systems. You know, you change your brake pads, your brake shoes. That's really easy stuff. I mean, yeah, there's all sorts of videos on YouTube doing that with different vehicles, but I think it's an essential skill that everyone needs to know. You know how, if you know how to do all your basic little repairs and servicing of your vehicle, people, for one, are going to save a crud ton of money. And two, it just gives them more of a better rounded knowledge base. I'd say also shop 2 should also be covering welding, at least just your basic, maybe your wire welding, because everybody can wire weld. That's a real easy welding to learn how to do. And there's all different types of wire that you could use to weld into different things. So you learn, you say you, I don't know, need to weld a chunk of steel to the framework of your shop. That's something that you can learn in that Shop 2 class. So that Shop 2 would be covering all your basic automotive essential skills and be covering welding, metalworking, basically. So you learn how to do your measurements for cutting steel, learn about different types of steels, aluminums, stainless, learn your basic welding. It would just be the essential classes. They need to be done. Our schools are taking all this out of the education system. When I went through school, none of the shop classes were mandatory. I mean, yeah, in middle school we had kind of a woodworking, and it was mainly just woods 1 and 2, which was great, but there's a lot of schools that don't have that. And I know we did not have a mandatory home ec class. And there's a lot of things that I think if it would have been mandatory, I would have been better off after high school knowing how to do those things. I mean, I had great upbringing taught me how to do a lot of that, and just my own experiences with life with my friends. We just loved turning wrenches, and we chose the different shop classes. We did a lot of that in high school, but I think there's a lot of home ec stuff. Like even just doing taxes, that could be another thing to throw in that home ec class. Doing your own taxes and knowing what taxes are all about. But I think if I would have been able to take classes such as that, and it would have had, if it had a good curriculum that where you can learn the basic essential skills of your home economy, your basic life economy, I know I would have been better off. And I think kids nowadays would be better off with that as well. Well, that's just kind of my rant on that subject, I guess. It's we're failing kids these days, and the older generations, we're just complaining about the younger generations and not giving any answers to it. It's not parents, it's all your fault or this or that. Parents nowadays they're both working full-time jobs, mom and dad, or dad and dad, or mom and mom. It doesn't matter. They're all working full-time jobs. Where they're like me, I'm working 12 to 14-hour days, and I got a 3-hour drive round trip. I get home, it's hard for me to even have the energy to do something like that to teach him. I still try to. I'll try to teach anybody I can. I mean, I'm a basic guy that trains everybody how to do my job as well. But it's just these basic essential skills need taught. Parents, yeah, we all need to do a better job at it. Need to be better at time management so we can get these things done. But I think our school systems need to get back on track and to stop trying to push for things that'll get them more, I don't know, more funding from the federal government. Maybe this is something the federal government or the state governments need to step in as well and be like, hey, we need to change how we're doing public schooling and actually try to teach these essential skills and make them mandatory classes instead of taking these tests once or twice a year, every year, that they grade the school system on. And it's a wealth of useless information. It seems like a lot of the things you learn in school is when there's essential skills that need taught. All right, well, that'll be the end of my rant. And if you agree with me or just like watching this, give me a thumbs up, a like, and a subscribe. And I'm going to pray for your family, and I pray you guys keep praying for mine. I pray you're doing well wherever you are, whenever you are, morning, afternoon, and night. I'll keep going on, and you guys keep doing the same. I'll catch y'all later.